didn't say 2, wasn't it?
No, I just usually press the button when you hit 5, but I was more worried about hitting Freg.
You fragged before you leaped.
I did. By the way, I hit the button 16 seconds ago.
Do it now.
Welcome to another exciting episode of Masked or Not with our wonderful heroes, Wilda, the Water Being,
Freg.
Spencer, the Super Cat,
My brother's girlfriend is in the other room talking about frogs.
Transient, the Meta Manipulator,
Can we make these things any louder?
Jules, the Gadgeteer, who is currently muted.
And Gregging.
I mean, that's the same thing.
I know if we put it up to the task, that we would probably all have the ability to do those ranger things if I made them. But I feel like for whatever reason, it would not be the colors everyone would expect.
And Rowan, the Immortal Glass Person.
I think they siphoned my gas. Those little bitty.
When we last left off, Rowan, who was currently driving her way towards the east side of town, had found that her gas had been siphoned more than likely by the 2 young stewards of the storage facility that she pulled her bike from. As she comes slowly across the gas station close by, the same gas station that Transient and the vehicle that he was in left, wielding with Tom driving and Darren now operating the 50 caliber Gatling guns on the top of the roof in order to shoot down some of these Mananangul's vampire halves that are attacking the town. In the hospital out up north area, more westward in town, Jace, now Jules, is currently doing what he can in order to heal as many people from the injuries, all while keeping tabs on Luce Campbell, who is currently handcuffed and only half a man, as his other half is currently walking around town unabated and trying not to be found, lest someone complete the
You want a bowl of cookie dough?
Goodness gracious. Rowan.
I got yelled at, sorry.
I didn't mean to get you yelled at, but
Complete the what, jam?
Thank you. While keeping tabs on Luce Campbell, who's currently half a man, while the other half is currently running away, trying to prevent the ancient way to cure a Managal vampire from occurring. Unfortunately for it, he is currently handcuffed with anti-mutant cuffs, returning him to a normal being, only to be rescued by Jules's nanomachine healing, who is now once more currently healing the rest of the hospital. On the outskirts of town, Wilda and Dahlia are currently having personal time amongst themselves while waiting to be found by Transient and the Humvee, who has just recently picked up Spencer after Spencer had beaten down the previous Luce Campbell to allow Jules to take care of him, and then reconforming with his multiple selves that was used in the attempt to take him down before being picked up. I'm all over the place. We pick up with Rowan, who's currently at just pulled up to the gas station in order to start filling up. You don't have any problems getting gas. Do you do it via debit, credit, or cash?
Debit.
And you're paying at the gas mantle, right?
Yes.
If you pay for it, you fill up your tank, going for half, quarter, half, or full.
Oh. It's a motorcycle. It's got like a 3-gallon tank.
The 3 gallons are paid well enough, and the service is moderately quick for 2002. Takes you about 10 minutes in order to get your payment done. But while you're waiting for it to fill up your tank, you do receive a phone call, which is chilling because you have yet to use this phone to really call. Yes.
Just saying, the amount of money he used to pay for the gas was probably like $3 to fill
Current
that entire
location,
fucking tank.
about 7. It was running just under $2 about this time.
Yep, barely a blip in most people's cases.
Anyway, I go back to the void.
Rowan, your phone rings, which terrifies you as you have yet to give. Well, it doesn't terrify you, but it does irk you. Who has your phone number? You haven't given that out yet. You just barely got this activated.
Pull it out. Look at the display.
The display says unknown caller with a series of numbers that don't even that continue to go past the normal seven number ID. I mean, 10 if you're if we're also counting the area code. It's long. It goes longer than the 10 numbers. It extends strangely to the far end, like it's glitching.
Roll my eyes, knowing exactly who it is that's calling.
You answer the phone call.
Yes.
Salutations, my dear Fräulein. It is Fräulein now, right? I mean, quite a distraction from your previous form, Sir. Sir Jason Ford.
Why did you send him after me?
I figured you two could use a good reunion for one more bout. Besides, it's not like I doubt he would actually truly become one like us. I mean, how long has it been since the last time all of us actually had a good roundabout? This triggers a short memory in your mind as you recall back in like the early what was it, 1700? When did cameras first get invented and started getting used? I want to say early 1700s, right? Right?
Are we talking personal or professional?
Uh, yeah, it's professional actually.
Like turn of the century, the 1800s into 1900s.
Okay, so it would be about 1800.
That'd be about 1895 to 1900.
Okay, so about 1900. So your memory flickers back to about, we'll say, April 10th, 1902, as one of the rare occasions that a group of immortals have come together to actually have a discussion about the newest technologies. For this is the first time that people are starting able to take hard images and be able to see what as time progresses. Since 7 years have gone by, someone noticed that a certain someone has not aged past their normal self, especially since they were still looking young at the time. Though you sworn most of these names to be secret, which we'll discuss later, you do know for a fact that only one person has kept tabs with you, especially about this.
We had an agreement, Doctor.
Ah, agreements here. only lead up to a certain point. I mean, I had an agreement with Jason Ford. Then there was who would be before Jason Ford?
It doesn't matter.
No, I mean, like over the board, like connotationally, he would be naming off a couple of names. So
Okay. It doesn't matter. The binding wasn't tied to a name.
yes, but it wasn't also fully. Sorry. Yes, but it wasn't also fully made official via paper. Not in written means a bit more freeform, and freeform especially since for the past 3 lifetimes I knew you as a male, and now you've taken to this a Fräulein. So strange, so awkward.
Change of pace.
Yes, I do hope you enjoyed your final farewell to your business partner, especially since more than likely he will not be seeing the next moonlight. That being said, if you do plan on leaving this town, by all means, I will not stop you or not obey you. In fact, I could even cut you a bit more better of a deal. Why not start yourself at a seaside resort, maybe? Maybe over on the edge of Texas, right before the corner between uh, Georgia, or even start a cliffside resort at Georgia, or even above Alabama. Who cares? Just anywhere but the West. I could care less if you even go over and take over all of Florida for all our kind's sake. But leave,
What you're
nevertheless.
saying is you want to encroach on my territory.
Small changes in the board. You've already passed down parts of your side. Might as well just spice up this current event. Besides, it's only for a short time. Not like you won't come back with something stronger in, say, 50 or another century. We've been at this game for quite a while.
So it's war then.
Dear Fräulein, war was declared the second you decided that you wanted out.
Click.
There's another ringing as
I
doesn't see the
passively
newspaper.
ignore that and I make my own phone call.
You ignore the lines as you go and dial up. Who are you calling at this point?
Director, execute
Director?
Protocol 23. Code word Mad Hatter.
I see.
I'll
Is
hang
all
up
he
the line.
says.
Oh, no, actually, before I hang up the line, switching status from passive to active. And then I hang up.
Things in the background have begun. The phone once more resumes ringing, although a couple of messages have popped up.
Check the messages real quick.
There is an image of all of Lincoln with a new color that specifically reads Hymnal Territory as a first message.
Anything else?
It shows a picture of a familiar looking cat, along with a couple of kids nearby that cat. Almost reminiscent to a particular photo that I'm going to add at you here, if I can still find it. Let's see, where is it? Would be heroic examples. Spencer! The group photo.
Let me find it. It's been a little bit. I'm posting it. Give me a moment. All right, I found it. I'm posting it as soon as Discord allows it to happen. Discord is fighting me.
Hashtag loose candles, loose ends. Hashtag spending time with the monster who ate your heart. Oof.
Well, yeah, you said that I was having quality time with Dahlia, and it's like, well, the wouldn't want that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why she's for that. Yes. This picture. Segueing away from that. There's a picture of on here with a particular like circle of red around the particular boy in the middle in the chair with only 2 words. He's mine. The last text that comes from him while the phone is still ringing is leave them alone. Do not help them. Almost antagonizingly so, despite the fact that he's already breaching your own personal boundaries with the previous accords now torn. Hashtag Jace who looks dead inside this photo. Hashtag Jace who can say how long has been dead.
I will walk into said gas station, grab and purchase with cash a new cellular device of same make and model, brush the other one, deposited it in the trash can, and in an almost practiced fashion, activate it before I even make it back to my bike.
Oh, like personal mutterance and old English language, almost Danish, one would say, as you
Oh no,
curse out new technology.
she's cursing in Greek.
Ah, that's even funnier. Comes out dropping hard Greek slurs at the fact that she has to start a new phone. Hashtag at least it's better than Jace being dead outside like him and will be. Hashtag Jules uses live ammunition. Hashtag scatter the Himmel atoms. Oh God. Let him know I made a wonderful villain that everyone just like wants to just smear across a pavement. Grind that man, hashtag grind that man down until the very atoms cry for mercy. So Rowan, you do approach your bike, new phone number process. The road does seem to look like it's opened up. Your bike is now fully loaded up. What will you do?
Is anyone visible outside the Humvee?
Like I said, the Humvee is not currently in front of you. It actually has passed you while you were coming down, and then has gone off into heading towards these tree lines.
Did I
You
perchance see a ball of fur or anything else?
Yes, cartwheeling towards the truck.
Exactly. You do recall seeing that, seeing.
Transient has pointed out an incredible question.
Oh, Jesus Christo. Let me double check. Up the general chat.
You made the mistake of having Himmel place a direct call in my vicinity.
Go ahead. Give me a perception check, and if more than likely once you beat that threshold, give me a technology check to try to find out where he's at.
just take a slight detour from the road trip to kick in his door and execute an old German man. Let me find my way back to Jace.
Just While you're doing that, hashtag there's nowhere that is safe. Hashtag scatter the Himmel quarks. Hashtag the ship of Thesis. Hashtag the corporal essence of Himmel. Hashtag docs Himmel. Hashtag Himmel, you're going down.
That's a
Lord.
23.
You do sense an off call.
Okay, in that
This-
case, I have to make technology, right?
Yes, sir.
30.
Your senses immediately try to follow it as. Wait, are you currently Jace or Jules?
That's a great question. I think I need to. I actually have no idea at this point. Last I know, I was Jules, but that was only because I needed to switch back so that I didn't, die while fixing his organs. At this point, if everybody in that infirmary is stable, he probably would have turned back.
All right. While holding on to that technology check, go ahead and give me a healing check or treatment check to see how many of the people you've taken care of.
Okay, let me make that check using the Jules modifier. 28.
The only ones you weren't able to take care of inside the emergency area are the ones that have already been accepted and pulled into towards the back. You managed to the relief of the hospital, seem to miraculously pull healing by touch and hand movement. You almost had people about to say that you're a religious figure, but then you once more show them the technological pieces on your limbs. Instead, start spreading the gospel of science.
Listen, you can thank whatever god you believe in for making me smart enough to make this.
Oh, praise be to Odin to grant you the knowledge.
Just. Ah, yes. The peak of Norse mythology worship. Nevada.
Surely, devoid of all life, can one find true enlightenment? If you did it well enough to basically treat everybody who didn't already get pulled in, I would have changed back to Jace then. You change to Jace by the end of it. That's when you pick up the signal. You try to trace it, and with your 30, you manage to get a hard-boiled area of around the Michigan area. But unfortunately, somewhere in there,
You can be better. Let me see if I have bennies. Because this is something Jace would want.
You're gonna make this boy burn his bennies here.
I've got 2. I'm gonna spend a Benny to go harder. Friendly reminder that bennies can be allowed for re-rolls. If you roll below a 10, it does add 10 in this area in order to help increase certain random events.
You can
Is it
also
10 or
spend
below,
a
or is
penny
it
to
10
change
and
the
below?
scene.
Is it 10 or below, or below 10?
10 or below.
That would make that a 39 then.
I need to double check the map real quick. One second.
Excuse me a moment. I'm going to make a collect call to talk to this former individual I was associated with. Jace from halfway across town. I have your IP address, Emil.
Let's see. Where's hell? Show me hell.
I don't think we're gonna be driving all the way to Michigan, Ace. I think the car.
Goal. We have to go there. That's where we're going to get those fucking water towers.
I know, but what I mean is that I think Spencer's picking up the truck and using super speed.
Fair.
It's just gonna skip two states just to make it there.
Ah, yes, we've got traps laid out to interfere with the children before they arrive. Sir, they're not
What
on the
about the
highway.
cat?
The fuck do you mean they're not on the highway? Where are they? I don't know, sir. The door gets kicked in. Where are you, Himmel?
Even funnier to me is just like you just hear the Dukes of Hazard horn and then they crash to the ceiling.
Well, that cat did it again, breaking the laws of physics just to bring his friends over to the point where all truths come to end.
I love the idea that Spencer gets out from under the car and goes, I saw an Arby's that was open down the road. I'll see you guys after the fight.
Listen, if any of our parents are in the mood to take on the U.S. government in order to kill a former Nazi, it would absolutely be Darren.
Oh, and they think the cat can break the laws of physics.
I have to ask because this came up into my mind. Would he believe that Nazis are aliens?
What? No, are you ridiculous? Nazis as aliens? Nah. Now, did aliens and Nazis actually interact? I do believe in that, and I have full-on proof that they actually have a hardcore pact that was only compromised when America stepped in to prevent that. But let's not give America too much credit, because they also got corrupted by alien mind corruption. I tells you,
Oh,
that's
I just love that you just like, yes, because the Navajo code talkers dissuaded the aliens.
Nazi vampires.
Nazi alien vampires.
I'm calling Alucard.
Wait, you have his number here? Anyway, getting back on Trump.
I just had a horrible thought come to mind for something that Jace would absolutely ask Transient to do to Himmel.
Which part?
Just look over at Transient and go, Transient, give this man 30 kidney stones.
Kidney, gallbladder, or liver. I can do all three.
Yes.
What a wonderful day to enjoy another glass of water and oh my goodness.
Oh God, my liver and my gallbladder. I thought I had it removed.
Where did I grow those back?
Don't worry, I restored them just so I could add stones to them.
When did you get into my house? How'd you find me? Anyway.
Oh, there's a door right there. Points at the random wall that now has a door.
I just imagine Himmel trying to escape. He gets attacked by the party. Dahlia shoots him in both knees. He's crawling away, trying to get to his escape bunker, and it has a fucking DDR machine in front of it, and it's like, damn you, hindsight!
No, it's even funnier to me because I love the idea where it's like Spencer has convinced him, like, you know what, you're right, small feline. I understand that the error of my ways, this feeling that's welling up in my chest, it must be empathy or some sort of joy. And then Transit's like, no, it's more kidney stones.
Getting back to session.
How do you pronounce that? I'm just gonna type it to you and let you do the translating on how to say that word.
Oh, this should be fun. I hope you guys are ready for something that probably sounds offensive. Penskney?
Yeah. Wow. Ugh.
I just shoot a text to the group. I've got Himmel's IP address.
I look at my phone and I send a singular message to Transient. Help.
And there is now a motorcycle chasing a Humvee.
Give me a second, I've gotta make a roll.
Rowan, as you begin following what you believe is the Humvee as you are able to start keeping up with it, you do see several vampire bodies start dropping at the scream of a 50 cal going off, along with the laughter of a madman who seems to be enjoying this current moment. It's peak entertainment for this person, as far as you can tell. Uh, I'm not gonna attempt to make the noise. In all honesty, I can't. I cannot do it justice right now.
Daka
You may not
Daka.
be able to do the Darren noises justice, but I just imagine one of them falls in front of the car. The car hits it full speed, keeps going, and just Smith quietly says, speed bump.
What's
Right.
even funnier to me is imagining him stop hitting the brake as hard as he can, and grinding the vampire into the ground, then running back over it once, then keep going. Just had to make sure.
Do we have Tom pass out or?
Tom was still conscious last I recall.
If I recall, Tom had kind of gone into shock, and he was just moved to the passenger seat while the AI took over.
Right, because of his multiple failures at driving, as he suddenly realizes that these are not your normal bats. As you follow along, Transient, you do receive a text with the singular word "help" from Wilda, which, given your current relationship with her, does spark a lot. Is there anything that you would like to try to do in order to maybe expedite trying to catch up to them, or slow down, or what would you like to do? Gotta love these quiet moments.
Who are you asking?
I was asking Transient.
To facilitate what? To speed us up? There's not much I can do right now. Because we're on our way to go pick and grab Puddle.
Right, fair. Right, fair. I'm just trying to keep you involved, so forgive me.
Yeah, but the problem is you have
you're
Rowan.
stuck in the car.
We have Rowan chasing us. Transient hasn't noticed that. He's barely noticed that Puddle managed to text him, and he just texted her back.
Right. Spencer, what are you doing since you're also in the back seat with Transient?
Do I look over and see Puddle's missing and go, "Where's Puddle?"
Yes, I mean, she is definitely not in the car.
I'm gonna look at Transient. I'm gonna go, "Where's Wilda?
What?
Where's Wilda?"
What? We literally, we have Daryl on the guns right now. We can't hear each other. Oh, let me rephrase that.
I would like to. Oh boy, how best to say this? I would like to yell pretty loud, "Where's Wilda?"
I'm pretty sure Rowan can tell you just how loud a 50 cal is, let alone a 4-barrel anti-aircraft version of it.
Which is why it's not hard to trace where this Humvee went.
Okay, if that's the case, Spencer's gonna hop out of the car again.
For reference, DM, you can miss and shred a person with a 50 caliber bullet.
Yep.
So I'm taking this at full penalty. Let's see if I even heard him. Oh, a 16. I was able to read his lips. His cat lips.
That's interesting. Now you can read cat lips.
Apparently.
His
So what do you
talents
say?
know no bounds.
Unfortunately, he can hear me. Maybe.
I have sensitive hearing, but that doesn't mean it's being drowned out right now.
Somewhere near the explosion.
He's gonna think for a moment, think for another moment. The light bulb's gonna go on his head, and he's gonna go, "Oh," and then he's going to get out of the truck and go find Wilda.
As he gets out of the truck, a very loud motorcycle with someone familiar.
You notice him getting out of the truck. You're like, "What?" If you didn't know he had super speed, you're like, "Huh." He's not falling behind and getting run over by other cars, so he should be fine.
Spencer,
And then
go ahead. Spencer,
He
as you're like five
immediately
cars
comes
down,
over.
runs down, passes 5 other cars before hearing the starts backpedaling, and at the same speed, repasses those 5 vehicles and catches back up.
I just love that we passed like an old station wagon. It's like, "Oh, I can't." If you say it one more time, I'm gonna turn around and there'll be no vacation for all of us.
But Dad, you just passed him, and then he just passed us.
What I tell you to stop talking about your imaginary cat boyfriend?
He's real, Dad. He's real. He's taking me to prom. All right.
Oh my god. No, I have to take like a 16 or 17-year-old boy to prom.
Spencer, you find yourself as you're backpedaling, meeting up with the familiar person who you met earlier and was helping with dealing with Luce Campbell.
I'm gonna match pace with them, and I'm gonna wave at them.
a little loud, just so make sure that they're heard over the loud ass motorcycle. Tell your friends we need to talk.
He's gonna nod, and he's gonna give a thumbs up, and then he's going to say, "I'm gonna go pick up Wilda. I'll see you in like 5 seconds." As he speeds off at a velocity that your eyes can't follow.
You very much assume cannot follow.
Oh yes, I assume cannot follow, but Spencer doesn't know that.
I don't know. If he's going full speed, he's going about 5 times the speed of sound.
I doubt that because the shockwave would wind up throwing everyone and everything around everywhere.
If he obeyed the laws of physics, you would be right.
I mean, I could say everyone either make a vehicle check or a strength check, and then I gotta roll like 5 more since I already input there were like 5 vehicles he passed.
Yeah,
Gives me
but
pretty
we've
messed up in the leg.
explained he doesn't follow the laws of physics.
True. So while there is like a sonic boom, most of the damage seems to be focused on one tree way in the back. Like he was, for some reason, in perspective, using that tree as the kickoff point, even though he was on the street. I don't know. It just felt like something has to break with a pop.
No, I understand.
Spencer, go ahead and give me a investigation check as you start scouring through the forest looking for your owner as well as more Dahlia, who's with her.
I think we saw them last time, didn't we?
Yeah, we're just gonna retroactively say you thought you did, but it turned out that was just a different couple who happened to be wearing the same stuff.
That was Elda and
Elda
Dalio.
Yes, Elda and Dalicio. Yeah, exactly that.
Oh man, I was like, oh, who are you two? I am Elda. I am Delicio. Nice to meet you. Wrong people. Bye. Anyways, let me give you that investigation check, DM.
Please do.
Just realize that it makes it sound like that person said, I am delicious in a different language. All right. Let's open this up. Investigation. I don't have any points in that. That's going to be a flat +0.
Honestly, that doesn't surprise me, Spencer.
I know. 19.
Well, no, would you say that would be good enough to find you?
I'm not trying to hide. I'm just with Dahlia, looking very, very, very uncomfortable.
So ballpark that about a DC 15. Yeah, that definitely does find you. Spencer, you are looking around. You climb a tree immediately just to look above the tops of the trees, and somewhere amongst your motioning, you do see like a shivering bush. But when you double check, it's not a bush. It's Willa just trying to hide in her uh her jacket
Sweatshirt.
sweatshirt. Thank you. Trying to hide herself in her sweatshirt while walking alongside Dahlia, who is trying to like fill the void with. Uh, I want to say she would either try to fill it with like daytime talk, random trivia's, trying to like banter about how her dad would do this or how her mom would talk about this.
You know, when you said fill the void, I imagined she was taking bites out of a tree.
Hey, mm, mm. I mean, we definitely could try to like say she might try to like gnaw on a bark to distract her from the hunger.
It's kind of tastes like human flesh.
It's like the worm helps a little bit.
Is that a bit of termite I taste in there?
Yeah, Dahlia, by all means, feel free to kick my buns when you get back, or if you review this video and hear that we, talk about you eating bugs as a supplement for eating flesh. By all means,
They are high in protein.
then why did the zombies come out of the ground?
In certain Eastern traditions, there's a policy where if you suspect someone of being a vampire or a zombie, you bury them upside down so that when they wake up, they dig their way back to hell.
It's beautiful. I love it. So, but you do manage to find them as you like zoom across the forestscape. Despite the thicket area, none of the vampires seem to be coming out past the initial tree line. You don't see any fluttering this far out, so when you meet up with the girls, they're safe. The puddle does not seem to be in a talkative mood. Dahlia waves and says hello. How goes it, Spence? Nice to see you here. Can we get a ride on the express train back to our friends?
Good thing. And he's gonna pick up Dahlia.
She just looks over. You ready for a ride, Dolly? Ready for a ride, Puddles? Oh, goodness, I'm so sorry.
How dare you?
Sure.
He's going to gently, and I cannot emphasize gently enough, pick up Wilda. and then sprint at a leisurely, I don't know, 30, 40 miles an hour.
It's brisk enough to be able to make it back to your friends in time for Rowan to have caught up to the now slowing down vehicle as the vampire bats do seem to be getting a bit more chaotic. While they aren't spawning as much, they are definitely coming out from underneath to below where the tank can fire at, doing a bit of a duck and jump up kind of tactic, starting to leap onto the Humvee itself, slashing and tearing at it. I'm about to roll for damage on the vehicle. That is not the right space. There we are. What would we say the metal that you made the Humvee out of would be?
Well, it's a military grade standard, and then I think we reinforced it slightly.
That'd be reinforced. So
Slightly. Oh, please. We covered this thing in additional titanium plates.
and titanium had a rating of 7, right?
I don't know. I'd have to grab the.
Hang on, I think I have someone who has that.
See if I can find it. Hardness ratings.
Oh no, that's the measurement table.
Let's see here. Somewhere. Titanium has a toughness rating of 15.
Okay, so and then I would be adding 10 to that for their toughness check, right? Or for the toughness difficulty?
For active rolls, you have to actually roll the d20 plus 15.
Oh, okay.
Because that's an active roll rather than a passive roll.
Okay. The vampires claw and slash at the the titanium frame, but their claws, despite not being torn against the frame, do not harm the frame. The vehicle is shaking back and forth while Darian is trying his best to aim the Gatling gun. This darn thing can only go down so far. They're coming down like a dive bomber. I can only take down so many. Tom, pick up a freaking gun. What? Me? I can barely shoot. What am I supposed to do? Oh God.
I have a question, DM.
Yes.
They're dive bombing the Humvee, right?
Yes, the Humvee that you are about keeping pace with and are about to come upon. You got about.
I would like to clothesline as many of them at my current rate of speed as possible. My density is far greater than theirs.
Oh goodness. All right, I will need a vehicle check in order to make sure that you're able to not hit the Humvee in front of you when you clothesline most of these vampires. And then I need to contest that against your, I want to say, damage rating for strength. So let me know what your strength-based unarmed attack is. And depending on how well your driving is, we could even give it a circumstance bonus.
Okay. Where would I find the driving thing?
It would be considered vehicles under your thing. Let me. No, I pulled it.
Because I do have I do have Jack of all trades.
Okay, so a jack of all trades, you'll just do a vehicle check then.
Yes, your vehicle check is
Okay.
a +1 right now, but you are able to roll it.
So circumstance bonus would give it a +2, so you're rolling at a +3.
E.
Okay. 1 second. Do you want me to do this in Abre?
E.
Where are
take-
dice rolls?
Definitely still need to.
So it'll be hero rolls, fourth from the top of Power Goal Central.
I found it. All right, and I do R 1d20 plus 3.
I know this is a weird visual, but if this hits, I'm just imagining like a bird getting struck by like the Apollo 11 on its descent into orbit.
I did not get
So you
to.
can, so you can choose to Benny that, and what'll happen is you'll re-roll it, and anything that's below 10 automatically gets +10 added to it.
Yes. So right now you do have. You should still have 3 bennies. I don't recall you having to re-roll anything thus far.
Nope. All right, so I guess I'll spend a Benny.
Rowan's
Uh,
first benny.
So it's 1d20 again.
1d20 +3, and if the die is below 10, it automatically adds +10 to it.
If it's 10 or lower. And wow,
Yep.
I think you forgot a couple of things there.
Listen, not used to doing it this way.
It's horrible that you thought you could edit it and get it to work, but it doesn't work like that. Okay, so that
It
is
somehow
a 16.
got worse.
Total of 16.
All right, and your damage rating is for your unarmed is a +4, so technically that would bump it up to a 19 with the circumstance bonus from your vehicle. We'll say is a +2. That would make it a 18 DC for the.
21.
Thank you.
19 plus 2 is 21.
Thank you. My brain was going off of the wrong count. First, my inability to keep track fully. That's still a hero roll. My apologies. These gotta be done over here. And let's see. In your in a strange flash, transients and those inside the vehicle are able to see this young woman go like a sideways lean and relatively clothesline like four of the groups of vampires that get taken down. And while one group looks like they were able to roll off the damage well enough, the other 4 do suffer uh, a severe bruising. Several of the monologues looking now broken from the vehicle landing into it. Rowan, you are now next to the Humvee, where that has a loud Gatling gun that still is going off towards the sky, as Darren is still trying to keep those that are trying to dive bomb upon you guys at bay.
Kind of look towards the people inside and make the roll down the window vibe.
Tom seems to still be a bit stunned, worried, and unsure what exactly to do as Agent
Quick
Smith.
question.
Yes?
Passenger or driver side?
We'll say for the sake drive side.
I'm So.
Would love to, but I can't take the trigger. Can't take my fingers off the trigger here. Here, Smith, unlock the vehicle. Smith gives a questionable look before double checking his motives. Jace, you did give Darren permission to make some orders to Smith during this, right? Just in
Correct.
case.
None that would put us in jeopardy, but he is allowed to make orders that are logical.
Logical.
Smith looks over to Tom. If you cannot handle the gun, please hand it to the young woman outside of here. As the door opens up, Tom looks a bit worried as he tries to like lean over Smith, who, while as a hologram, does try to give the benefit of leaning backwards while fizzling to Tom's touch. Here, Rowan, you are handed a. Let's see. If he's handling the 50 caliber, you were handed a proper shotgun, 12 gauge. I want to say.
12 gauge combat shotgun.
Thank you. 12 gauge. Yes. Yes.
I almost wish it was the type of shotgun that came out of Terminator 2 that he was using while on a motorcycle, only because the aesthetic is amazing in this particular scenario.
While you can't do the awesome hand flip backwards, you can cock it loudly and look towards the group.
I'll just start taking shots at the ones that are coming at us.
All right. Believe his. Let me double check his shotgun. Darren Blaze shouting. Accurate +2, increased range. Limited targets without protection 2. Thankfully, none of these things have protection. So that would be a +2 for the shotgun, I believe, to your standard range weapon attack. Double check. What you doing exactly? High elf? I heard motioning. Oop.
I was typing. But all right. So, what do I need to roll?
D20 plus ranged.
It should be,
Do-do-do.
what I'm seeing, you don't exactly have points in your range attack.
He's got jack of all trades.
True. You don't treat it like your throw, which is a +1. Go ahead and add the +2 for the circumstance bonus of using his shotgun.
Okay, so +3 total.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, just making sure I had it right. R1 D20 +3.
So the 11 does nick a good handful of does nick one of the groups. I need to make a toughness roll for them. That is another failure, which is enough for this group to actually be eroded. The series of bullets the series of slugs that come out. No, was it slugs or buckshots? It was
Slugs.
buckshot. No, it's yeah, slugs. So as you pull the trigger, slug after slug comes out in the foray, taking out one group of the Mananangals. As they fall, the other Mananangals start snaking around, glaring and looking.
Question.
Yes,
GM. How close are these Mononogals?
the ones on the driver's side are a bit pushed back after being uh clothesline. They're about 10 feet now away from the Humvee, about 5 feet away from her, who is right next to the driver's side door.
And the passenger side?
The passenger side does still have about two groups that are still uselessly flailing against the titanium, but they have not been beaten off the side of the vehicle. God, I need to phrase things better.
Let's see here. Quick question, Rowan. Are you looking inside the vehicle at this point, or are you focused on the groups?
Rowan, did you hear that?
I'm sorry, I did not.
Are you focused on the groups, or are you focused on the inside of the vehicle? The Humvee.
I'm focused on getting them off of your vehicle.
Okay. Well, I can finally do something. So I'm going to proceed to clap my hands, touch the inside of the vehicle, and nanocarbon spikes are going to extrude about 1.5 feet away from the out of the vehicle, in all directions except in Darren's direction.
Ooh, ooh. Go
And
ahead
presumably not straight down so you don't hit the auto brake.
go ahead and give me your alchemy roll.
Oh, God damn it, this thing didn't roll. And I put it in there too.
Thank you, Avery, for being able to do some math.
So that's a 23.
All right, it does form, and we'll count that as an additional +2 to the damage threshold. Will we say that would be a base 15 or a base 20 for your damage threshold on this one?
For this one, given that it's technically a super alloy, it'd be about a 25 unless they dodge it.
All right, I'll make dot attempts now as it occurs, but
And DC is currently going to be 23 for them to dodge. What is their actual? Well, I can't ask you for the actual stat itself. Their dodge is their dodge stat +10. Do they dodge?
if we're going off of passive, no, they do not. They aren't able to
Yeah.
react fast enough as multiple spikes jut from the side of the vehicle, now piercing the two series of groups, and have to make toughness checks for them.
Yep, DC is going to be 25 for this, unless they have specific resistances. These do not have the piercing property.
All right. Well, while they do not have the piercing property, neither group is strong enough or tough enough to handle the barrage of spikes that pop up. One of them is even just tugging it too close as the spikes literally pincushion them to the vehicle.
Yeah. So Rowan, what you see is some blue lightning seems to dance around the outside of the vehicle, and some of these 1.5 foot long, pure pitch black spikes that seem to absorb light just stick into these things.
Along with that, Rowan, you coming from the other side, there was a series of high pitched before they just quiet down to nothing as the bullets continue rattling through in the air.
And then I'll
It's a
proceed.
very
I will proceed to return the spikes to proper carbon within the structure.
there's a small smirk on Rowan's face.
Bro, you haven't seen such tricks since back in, what, 1450s? Before the colonies were fully devised? Just on your trip somewhere around the outer frame of Spain, one would say. Unless I'm like once more screwing that up. Like where exactly? Let me do a quick look at where alchemy originated from.
Depends. Every country had their own versions of it.
Alchemy, oh my goodness.
Rowan, did you know the infamous Fulcanelli?
I knew a lot of people.
Generally traced to ancient Egypt, specifically the Hellenistic period, with Alexandria serving as. Huh. The more things you learn.
Yeah, no, alchemy has been around since well before 080. It's been around a long time.
So yeah, we'll still ballpark it at like 1450 since there was another practitioner of the so-called alchemy arts, although his definitely did seem to hold some form of weight, mostly because the potions that they were brewing actually did seem to help. Although you can't tell if the potions were legit or if there was magical properties. You've tried, you've gone to investment, but as you know yourself, an immortal's craft is best kept secret.
Well, are we arriving at our destination?
Well, Spencer went to pick up puddles, so
We will take this moment as you guys are combating the Mononoggles to flick it back over to Spencer, Wilda, and Dahlia. Spencer, it doesn't take you too long to be able to get your footing up. Go ahead and give me a perception check to just find out where the road is that will take you back over towards uh, Transient, Darren, and Tom.
Roger. That's a +4. That is an 11. Now hold on. If it's hearing based, I know where they are.
Yes, I mean, I wasn't gonna make it that high of a difficulty. You can hear where the bullets are coming from.
I'll head there.
As you make it closer towards the Humvee, the vehicles that were heading behind them have already stopped about, we'll say 30, 40 yards as you're coming close in your jog. The waves of monogols do seem to be do seem to be at a steady pace. For every 3 that gets gunned down in the air, 1 lands on the ground, and they're only coming at a steady pace of maybe 8 per 30 seconds. So every 30 seconds, another group pops up, but it's been already going down. As you get closer, you do see a series of mononogal bodies on the passenger side, left with multiple holes, although you can no longer see the source of what poked these things so severely. Darren is up top, still gattling away, although he seems to be going from ecstatic to in a bit of like gun drunk bliss after all the rattling. And then on the driver's side, you see the young lady toting the shotgun and going up, getting ready to deliver another series of blasts over towards the 3 remaining groups around her.
Alrighty.
How do you wish to approach this?
I would like to
With
approach.
Wilda and Dahlia in hand.
I would like to approach, open the car door with my tail, put them inside, close the car door,
Now,
and
hold on, Darn,
proceed to
30
start.
seconds. Do you have a prehensile tail?
I mean, I assumed I did.
No, that's an ability.
Oh,
That's a power, yeah.
I can't believe of all the things I have to catch you on, it's the wait. Do you even have a prehensile tail?
I gotta add that next time. Anyways, let me just DM you that DM so I can have it in our DMs for DM's
Seriously?
sake.
We forgot to check if he has a tail.
No, he has a tail. It's whether or not it's prehensile. Prehensile meaning like can act like a third limb, like certain uh before
I thought it was just a straight cat's tail, so
yeah, which doesn't always like react. And last I checked, have yet to
Well,
see cats normally open stuff with their tails, unless I have not been looking at enough cat videos. Then by all means,
Debbie
well,
can't do
educate me.
shit with his tail.
no, I know. I'm just going to say that Spencer is going to move Dahlia to his other arm with Wilda, open the door with his spare arm, put them inside, close the door, and then he is going to get up. Now, hold on. How many enemies are left over getting like surrounding this car?
If we're ballparking about 2 to 3 per group, there's at least a good 12 on the driver's side still around, and there's about no the other 2 groups that were on the passenger side just literally got skewered to nothingness. So there's like 4 dead bodies on the other side. Uh, but as time goes on, you do see a few more Mononagals closing in and like I said, like for every 3 that get gunned down, 1 manages to dive bomb past. And there's like 8 on the way in about another 30 seconds.
Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. This is going to be really funny. I'm going to look at Rowan. I don't know her name's Rowan, but I'm going to look at her. And I'm going to. How far away is she from the truck right now?
About 5 feet, has not really stepped away. But it's far enough to allow like another person like squeeze on through, so the car door opens, someone can like squeeze out.
Okay. How heavy would you say the Humvee is?
Titanium
At
alloy carrying 5 people.
at this point, let's see, your average Humvee is about 3 tons. Am I right on that, Rowan?
Let me double tap my sources. You're looking at 7,700 pounds.
About 3.5 tons. With our additions, we would add in probably another 2.5 with a reinforced frame, so about 10 tons.
Okay, that's fine. I'm gonna tell you something that you're gonna love. I can carry 25 tons.
Yeah, sounds about right.
So Spencer's going to. Oh boy, how best do I say this? No, you know what? This is what he would do. Give me a moment. I have an idea. I need to check something, make sure it's about right. Okay.
Everyone feels the vehicle suddenly shift as Spencer picks it up and starts using it as a mace. I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking.
No, that's not what I would do, but it'd be really funny. So instead what happens is he shifts. He basically I would say crawls on top of the car. Do I need to make a check for that?
No, not this time.
How fast does the car? Oh my god! What was just sent?
In general, ripping apart the fabric of space time. Kosher. Having your tail wrap around a doorknob. Whoa, 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 buddy.
Pretty much.
Legend calling me out on my judgment here.
So what Spencer's going to do is he's going to get on top of the car. Do I need? I don't think I need to roll anything, right?
No.
I get on top of the car in my normal form, and then I switch to my copycat form, and I kind of get down on my hands, and I kneel down on one knee, and I put my hands on the top of the vehicle, and then let me see how many can pop out of me at once. Okay, and then 8 copies of me pop out of my back all at once. And here's what they're going to do. 4 of them will grab the truck from underneath, carrying it easily. And then 4 more will pick up Rowan and on the motorcycle, and they will drastically increase the speed to about 120 miles an hour. And then, with the 2 remaining clones that are not picking up Rowan and the motorcycle, I am going to grab one of them and throw them at one of the guys just flying around.
Okay, so once more, you're hopping on top of the vehicle behind Darren, and as you're leaning down to hold on to the vehicle, you start spawning enough Spencers to not only have one pick up Rowan and her bike, but pick up the vehicle's pace by pushing it, along with having one Spencer chuck one other Spencer towards all the other flying mononoggles mid bullet fire.
What I'm essentially doing is having part of the Spencers pick up the pace and push us ahead. And I'm going to leave behind like 4 or 5 clones to just start bashing in the skulls of these guys.
All right. I will need a series of checks. First, a general strength check from you and your clones, just to see for every like success. That's an additional mile faster that you guys are going.
Well, hold on. They can move 120 miles an hour. I'm not trying to speed up past that. I'm just trying to get to 120 miles an hour by carrying the truck on them.
Oh, okay. So it's more of a everyone simultaneously lifts the vehicle up and then just hop away.
Yeah, and the best part is I have a mental link between all of my clones, which can all understand me and get the order simultaneously to do what I ask.
Now all I can picture is the thing with the Vikings running across land with all the freaking Vikings carrying the boat.
That's exactly what's happening.
All right, boy. Just like we watched that one document on the History Channel before bedtime. You got it, boss. Hup, 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 hup.
It's
All of a
exactly
sudden,
what happens.
everyone in the vehicle suddenly feels a sudden shift. Agent Smith starts going, "Warning, warning! Not on vehicle, not on land. Warning, warning! Off road. Warning, warning! Not on land." Repeatedly, as Tom is like going, "What? What do you mean not on land? What? Spencer? What are you doing there? Spencer? What are you doing there? Why are there so many Spencers?" Looks back and then realizes that the girls are now in the back passenger seat alongside Transient. Transient, you at this point have already had Wilda in your arms when Spencer opened the door and pushed both her and Dahlia into the back here. Dahlia waves and smiles as a limb kind of like pops off randomly just from the sudden force of movement before she like takes a moment to stitch that back on. While she's
Wilda's
stitching,
shaking.
you yes, while she's stitching, Wilda's shaking. And then the vehicle suddenly starts moving. Feels like it's a little kind of floating faster as Spencer starts moving forward.
We're forgetting somebody.
We're forgetting somebody. Who are we forgetting?
Hey, Rockin'
But-
Prime, go pick up Jace.
Isn't he in the truck?
Spencer, you feel you feel yourself like get lifted off as the top of the vehicle reveals Rockin' Prime, who was a part of the vehicle in that section area, pop out and then transform. By your technologies combined, I am Rockin' Prime.
To let you know, Spencer, no, he never actually left the hospital. He was still at the hospital when he sent that text, and we never got back to him. So he's just sitting in a chair at the hospital, wondering where his buds are.
Nobody told Spencer. I am continuing with my actions.
Don't worry, by the time you guys get finished dismantling Himmel's whole operation, Rockin' Prime will catch up.
No, I've got a better idea. Do I hear Transient say that?
More than likely.
Well, let's see.
He was super hearing.
Not only do you have ultra hearing, but I believe all your minions also have extra hearing as well. Let me double check your.
My minions have a so when I'm in my copycat form, I have senses 15, awareness, emotional, awareness, life force, counters all concealment sight, detect thoughts 2, penetrates concealment sight, tracking 2, scent. So I can detect surface level thoughts or kind of what people are thinking. Even if I can't hear him, I can hear him.
Yes.
So as I hear that, I'm gonna I'm gonna see Rocking Prime get up, and I'm going to think for like 5 or 4 microseconds before the Spencer Prime, the one that is clearly distinguishable between all of these guys with penny jerseys on that have numbers 5 through 73.
Yes.
And
While you're still rocking your normal shirt.
well, I'm still rocking my normal shirt. They all have different colored pennies on. One's like a can, one's like a pink, another one's like a deep brown. Anyways, so Spencer is going to hop off the top of the Humvee and mid-air change back into regular form Spencer and then go back to the hospital while the clones are rocketing away with everyone else.
Right. They do have permanency, don't they?
I do believe they have permanency. There's nothing that says they don't. Unless they
Permanency
get
is
good.
an add-on to a power.
It is an add-on to a power. I don't believe I think it's
Yeah,
a 0 per rank.
Copies are easily distinguished. Permanent. Yep. Limited 5.
Yep. So they're permanent. Now that just means that NASA's going to find a floating Spencer body in space.
Until like at some point we bring that one Spencer back or something else does.
or something else does, just like an alien finding Spencer. It's like Zeepswarp, and Spencer's like, "What the fuck are you saying?" Anyways, I make my way back to the hospital. I lock eyes with Jace. I go, "You're supposed to be on the Humvee." He probably says something like, "We have a Humvee." No, I'm kidding.
I would have been in the Humvee, but I was here. Points at the room of like 100 people who have been cured of their ailments. Points at the half vampire who is currently getting beaten with batons by SWAT agents.
That's all well and good. We can play cops and robbers some other time. But right now we need to get you in the Humvee because we're leaving. Actually, we left a while ago, but I caught up.
Oh, okay. Make sure you keep those cuffs on him until you get him in a special cell, all right? He says to the SWAT officers. I imagine one of them gives him a thumbs up and then goes back to beating the guy with a baton.
Stun baton.
It's like the rare time you can appreciate police brutality on your side.
Stop resisting!
Normally,
Stop resisting!
Imagine the entire room full of people who almost died are cheering.
One
It's
of them
only
comes
police.
in.
It's only police brutality when the guy is alive.
Ah, yes.
In fairness, I did save his life. He's just half the man he used to be.
yeah, God, a bunch of cops beating up a paraplegic. I swear, if it hadn't just recently happened, I'd be saying this would only happen in jokes and comic books.
Okay. Well, anyways, I look at, is it Jace or Jules right now?
It's
It's Jace.
He's just sitting in a chair because his legs don't all work.
He's going to pick up the hospital chair that is slightly uncomfortable to sit in for more than 10 minutes. And then, go ahead.
Don't pick the chair, just pick me up out of the chair.
Oh, right. He's going to put the chair back down, and he's going to pick up Jace bridal style, and then he's going to walk out of the. He's going to quickly zoom out of the hospital, not at Mach speeds, then get out of the then zoom down the highway towards the Humvee.
He transforms back to Jules for this, so that the speed doesn't rupture all his organs.
As Rockin' Prime, as they see Rockin' Prime flying in the other direction.
Flying in the other direction. It's like, I'm coming for you, Jace! I'm coming!
I
And just
imagine,
falls to the
I
ground.
imagine Spencer reaches out a hand, just grabs one of his feet, and pulls him along.
Yeah, pretty much. It just
Rocket
is
Prime
like,
is
oh, look,
moving at
Rocky!
full force at a speed of. Let me double check his motion.
Hold on. I've got amazing back muscles. I'm just gonna keep him flying in the air behind me like a ribbon on the wind.
All right.
I'm not gonna drag him to the concrete. I'm just gonna have him flying in the air behind me.
I know, but it should be noted that his flight speed is a flight 5, 60 miles per hour, versus your.
Do you want me to tell you my speed? I think it's been a while. I feel like you need a refresher.
Well, you
My
zoom
speed
around
is-
at a whopping 125,000 miles per hour.
And the time it would take him to reach the same distance, I will have left, gotten a coffee, possibly gotten married, and then come back.
I'm just saying, like, if it weren't for the fact that you break the laws of physics, this poor robot's leg would have been torn clean off as you grab his leg and start pulling him in your direction with Jace on the other shoulder as you head back towards the Humvee. That's
Jules.
still. It's Jace.
It's
I know,
Jules
that-
currently.
He
Jules.
changed back to Jules?
Yeah,
Yep.
to survive.
So he could survive the onslaught of being propelled at let's say 10 Gs, maybe more.
Spencer is immune to physics. Jason Jules are not.
Jules has
I
immunity.
genuinely-
That's why Jules is okay. Jace would have turned into paste.
Hold on,
Okay,
guys. I need to collect Jace. He just gets out a mason jar.
Oh God, no! So as Rocket Prime is grabbed by your No, as you were running with Jules, you see this the falling form of Rockin' Prime, who deactivated the second you switched back over to Jules.
I just, like I said, I love it. It's just the idea of like, I'm coming for you, master.
So you catch this giant wheelchair as it transforms back as it's supposed to do in protocol. You catch this giant wheelchair with Jules in the other arms. And then as you're running in, you just kind of juggle where Jules is now in the chair, and now you're just like hoisting Jules in Rocket Prime.
I just love the idea that I'm running down the highway with a wheelchair and a man who does not need a wheelchair in it. And I can finally post this GIF. Can finally post it. Oh, let me see if I can find it. Oh, come on. It's not on the GIFs anymore. Apparently it was too offensive, but it was just this guy yelling handy charger and then running down a hill with a guy in a wheelchair. Anyways.
So as you come running over to the Humvee, wheelchair in hand, catching up with the group. What? Why is his legs moving like that? Spencer, you waited all this time to put that on at the mention of a man who doesn't need
I'd like to throw out here, because we're about to hit the end of the session, and a thought has occurred to me that I could not resist saying.
Yeah.
If we used and reintegrated the Himmel technology for the purpose of letting Wilda have a transformation, could we make a werewilda?
Yes.
I don't know. Well, would you want to become a werebeing? In that context, I mean, we have our own personal discussion of what your plan is.
Yeah, we know
But
what
if,
the plan is, but
but
it's
given the
fine.
option. Okay.
Yeah. This
So-
is just at this point, this is how Wilda's feeling.
We will say that maybe a bridge you will have to cross with Wilda in story, but
Fair
there
enough.
may be a chance that you could do it, but that does run the risk of it being reutilized by Himmel and it being a open window for him to hack back in. Given that
understanding something, DM. We're not letting Himmel survive this adventure. There will be no Himmel repurposing it. Himmel will be in a casket. We have his
Well.
IP address.
One of the Himmels will be in a casket.
This will be a good halfway mark. We'll make for a good halfway villain, halfway big bad evil guy. Let me rephrase that. All right.
It's really cool when the villain has their massive master plan and they're leading the heroes along on each on of the way. But I just love the idea of it turning into that bit from the last Arkham game where Batman's going around collecting all the Riddler trophies and then SWAT just breaks in and starts beating Riddler up mid-transmission.
Well, you see, Batman, I'm sure that if you are able to figure out this riddle, you might be able to be one step closer to finding. Open up! Wait, what? Whoa! Wait!
That's literally what it was. Riddler kept talking over the transcommunication to Batman, and Batman traced his IP address and swatted him.
Should I end the recording?
Yeah. So we will end it right as Spencer reaches back with the group with Jules in arms on the in the wheelchair, with Rowan in arms next to her bike, in arms next to the vehicle that are still in a series of Spencer arms, as Wilda is in the arms of Transient, and Darren on the top of the vehicle, still in arms, shooting at the arrays of mononoggles as they're following technically the source. I will phrase that at this point, Dahlia does bring up the fact that there is a second source that you and her found. If you wish to like bring that up before we end the recording, Puddle.
Nah, let Dolly bring it up later.
All right, so then we'll more than likely have her start the next session with that info. So thank you again for joining us here at this session. Joining us again in 2 weeks as we pick back up and have the group find the next set of Mononoggle creations. What else will Himmel toss out at them as they encroach upon Hell, Michigan? And what will what will he do once they find him in his hideout? Find out next time.